I'm just recording, if you don't mind.
No, that's absolutely fine.
Great. We're going to look at a couple of different options for you today. You've explained to me that you've looked at Mailchimp, you've heard good things about Mailerlite. So we can dive in and have a little look. There's a free sign up. Before we do that, and I'll ask you to share your screen so that we can walk through it together. I think there's quite a few different email tools out there. There's some really sophisticated ones, but there's also some that are designed to be quite intuitive and user friendly, like Mailchimp. I found it's easier than, say, Pardot or Marketo, because they're obviously for bigger businesses. But you and I both said Mailchimp actually hasn't got that kind of intuitive look and feel, has it? So what have you heard about Mailerlite? Have you heard that it's more straightforward to use?
Yeah, so I was just chatting to another friend of mine who's set up her business, and I was saying that I was really struggling with Mailchimp because I've done all the lessons like on segmentation, and I've got a huge contact list and stuff, but I actually just have no idea how to put the automations together. And after spending quite a few hours, I feel like I'm wasting my time trying to learn how to use the system. So I mentioned that to her, and she sort of said, well, she's actually just recently switched to Mailerlite because it's way more user friendly for people who don't need all the really complex things, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean, in the mailing. So she
yeah,
said it's really easy to add contacts. It's really easy to create automation. So she just said, have a go. So
yeah. Let's have a look. So we'll bring up the website and things and just go for it because there's a free version. So, it's zero risk. Um, with you've obviously got a good mailing list, so you've got a strong database there already. Would your main goal be to build that list up, so for it to increase and get new clients, or do you want to get more sales from your existing database?
mm, probably a bit of both. So my existing database is actually quite an old database that I haven't tapped into for probably about 3 or 4 years. So it'd be good to get some fresh eyes on pages, build a new list or add to the list, and also see if anybody on the old list still wants to stay connected. Also, it was for a different thing that I was doing at the time. So now that I've switched, it might not be relevant to what they want. So it'll be good to establish if they still want to stay. If they don't, add more people to a new list who do want to stay and are interested in what I have to offer. And
Yeah.
then from there, create an automated system so that I'm staying connected with them consistently, which is what I haven't been able to do in the past. So like whether it's a monthly newsletter or whatever, I'm well open for options. And
Yeah.
then also to sell my services from those, but not obviously every day because that's not
Okay.
my.
Fine. Okay. So you want to reconnect. So it's a relatively dated audience, but they've bought into you as a brand effectively. So there's still quite a lot of potential in there. Once we've reconnected, we can do some sort of we can reinvigorate the database and potentially, put some to one side. Then once we're connected, those people who are engaging with those emails can then go into a series of either newsletters or promotional content that can be, decided for sure at a later date. But yeah, I think if you've got, say, 1,000 people in there, there's definitely potential for, upsell, cross sell, downsell, whatever. And then you can keep them informed about what's happening with you, because not everybody's on social media, are they?
No,
So
there's a lot of people who aren't.
yes.
And even if
Okay,
they are on social media, doesn't mean that they're going to see what you're doing.
that's true. That's very true. Yeah, some people prefer email. Sometimes I'll go to my inbox because I've got all my mail in one place. So sometimes I'll scroll that before I go to Insta or whatever. So depends on the person, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Great. Well, I'm on it on my screen. So if you go ahead and share the homepage, we'll discover it together.
That sounds good. Can you see my page?
I can.
Okay, great.
So the way that I tend to look at these things, because I do look at a lot of like Chrome extensions and softwares and things like that. So I know sort of intuitively where to go. I think I would avoid, I mean, by all means, have a look at some features if you want. I would ignore pricing because we've got a sign up free version, 30-day free trial. Gallery, I'm not bothered about. Mailerlite, we'll figure that out for ourselves. Resources, not bothered. So I would actually go straight to sign up and do the sign up free.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mailerlite. Okay. So what I would be looking for in this is, yes, I'm going to be comparing it to Mailchimp, but actually I think we need to focus on doing, brilliant basics as opposed to, trying to reinvent the wheel. So we need an audience to email. We
Yeah.
need to design some emails that we're going to send. And we need to make sure we're being compliant as well. So the first thing I would do would be, let's check out how we actually add your existing database, which might be on a CSV file or something. So if you go to, I would suggest subscribers would be your first port of call.
Do I need to download it off the Mailchimp then as a
Yeah,
CSV?
there's every chance that you'll need to. Okay, so in this instance, subscribers is they've given you an opt-in subscribe form, straight off the bat, which is really good.
Really?
So, okay, so you need to verify your email address.
Oh,
So we're completing your profile. So you're just in the part where you're looking to what you're going to get from this, basically. So you want to have campaigns.
yes.
Yes. Forms, definitely, because that's how you get more subscribers. Website, yes. Landing page that's built in is a must.
Okay.
I think so, definitely. Because that also allows you to add things like commerce section where you can actually sell things online as well.
Right. Okay.
And also in the absence of a website, it's really good. Automations, automate emails to reach subscribers, yes. So that can be as simple as like an autoresponder.
Yeah.
Or if it's their birthday, you can set it up so they have a happy birthday message with an offer or something like that. And then transactional, get to know MailerSend, a transactional email service with intuitive design and reliable sending infrastructure. So transactional emails might be, so if you use Mailerlite to sell a service or product, the transactional emails will be probably a lot less design, fewer sort of design elements, but be more functional. So it'll be like a receipt and invoice or a reminder or something like that. So it'll be a
So that's
bit more
always good as
simple.
well.
Yeah, so let's tick that one as well.
Okay.
Next step. So we're nearly there with setup. So subscribers, yes, you have an email list. How many do you have? I think it was 1,200, wasn't it?
1266. That's a lot considering that I haven't done anything with it for probably about 5 years.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
the first, the 1001 to, yeah. How do you collect subscribers? So at the moment, your email addresses go into Mailchimp one by one by you, or do you have an opt-in form already?
no, I was adding people in as and when. So like this was the time of paper copy stuff. So
Yeah.
if people would sign up on a paper copy and then I would put it in manually.
All
I
right,
haven't.
so online or offline forms.
Sorry,
That's
which one?
so you've got the top one would be like an offline form. So that would be obviously you
Yeah.
speak to someone in person and then they sign up. Da, da, da. Okay, so that makes sense for now. What content
Yep.
will you share in your newsletters? So you could put brand awareness and promotions, because that's your reconnecting with your brand awareness, and then your information is around keeping people informed and promoting to them.
So should
Cool.
I write promotions or should I just leave it as brand awareness and information?
I think that is what you put is absolutely fine because that covers outreach, info, so not promotional stuff, and offers, which is promotional stuff. So yeah, you're all set. So next step. This is really easy so far, isn't it?
Very easy.
Profile, anti-spam. So I think it would definitely, at some point take a look through this. What it'll include will be things like don't buy lists from third party companies. Also, your emails will have to have in an address at the bottom and an unsubscribe option, so that you're GDPR compliant. That will mean that everybody has the opportunity to unsubscribe easily. Yes, I'm sure you've had some spam mail where it's actually quite difficult to unsubscribe.
Yeah.
And also, I think what it might include is things like spam complaints. Yes, spam complaints. You might get those if people are really not expecting to hear from you, which I doubt they would be surprised at, for hearing from you. So that's probably worth a read through. I would suggest that the only other thing, while I'm on the subject of spam, would be using the right kinds of words and avoiding spammy language and things like that,
Okay.
in subject lines and emails, because spam filters will pick up on those. But
Cool.
yeah,
Confirm.
stay informed. That's your choice.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
feel like weekly newsletters.
So sometimes nice to sign up to newsletters that from brands that you really love, because then you can actually pinch ideas or get inspiration. So let me
Okay.
just confirm. Then it should give us access to the dashboard.
Done.
Ooh.
Ah, is that because I've got over 1,000 people? Almost there. Your account is being reviewed. In the meantime, oh no, it's not. Okay, I thought it was going to
So I
charge me.
think, yeah, someone's obviously going to have a look and check that you're not, a bot trying to just use Mailerlite to spam people.
Yeah.
So that's good to know, actually, that someone's going to check it out for you. But for now, you can just dive in, do whatever you feel like doing. So let's check your addresses. Let's just have a little look, see if we can actually see your
Subscribers.
email addresses. Yeah. So subscribers, when we pressed that before, it talked about opt-in. So can't quite tell what. Okay. Right. So you've got all subscribers there. Doesn't look as though you've got your Mailchimp addresses in here.
No.
So what we need to do is find your address book, basically. So if you go to dashboard again, should give you an overview. Okay, so it looks as though until it's activated, you're not going to have your addresses in there.
Makes sense.
So I think they're calling subscribers the people that have opted into your mailing list.
Okay.
I would just click on where it says at the top, free plan, where you've got the little down arrow. Just have a little look and see if it gives you any clues.
Yeah,
No.
okay.
And then that one on the far right, try that one.
That one.
Little down arrow next to it.
I
Yeah.
suppose it wouldn't pull my subscribers in until it's authorized that I'm a real person.
Yeah, very likely. If you go to integrations for me, just on the bottom left, it might show Mailchimp as an integration, and if it's still setting up. No. Okay, so we can come back to it when we've had the account set up.
Yep.
This is interesting because it means that so API basically means that you can integrate other things to your Mailerlite campaigns, which can be useful if you wanted to run webinars or something like that. So, and WooCommerce is a little bit like Shopify. So that would be where you would, Shopify. So I'll be using that one. And Facebook audiences. So actually, so far, this is looking like even just the basic integrations are looking like they might be useful for us. So that's good. And Stripe as well.
Yeah.
Perfect. So should we revisit then when we've had the account verified, or do you want to look at anything else?
I'd love to set up how to, have a go at setting up like a campaign or a hi, welcome, I'm back.
Yeah, let's do that then. So
My
if you go
first
to,
email.
yeah, so let's go to campaigns. Okay, so it looks like there's going to be a drag and drop designer, which is really nice. That's always handy. So you want to call it something. If you're going to do tons of campaigns, it helps to have like a naming convention. But for now, I would just say like the type of email. So if it's a
Reconnect kind of thing.
reconnect, yeah, reconnect, and then put the month and year just as a guide. So regular A/B split. No, I think regular at the moment would be good. When we do like a promotion, we can do A/B split testing once we've cleansed our database a little bit,
Yeah.
as it were. Campaign name, subject, right? So, so you can say insert personalization. So, do you know in your Mailchimp list that we're putting in this, have you identified all the first names in like one column in a sheet? Do you know if you've got people's first names? Audience.
Yes, I should have most.
Yeah. Because if you have
Goodness gracious, haven't looked at this in a long time. There we go.
So where you have insert personalization, what I really like in emails is if it says, hello, Lucy, or something fresh for your inbox, Lucy, or something like that. So if you go to insert personalization, we'll forgive them for having a Z because it's an American company. You could say name. So once, if all of these people become instructors and you then want to progress them into more courses or something, you could put their company name. That'd be exciting.
Yeah.
So that's going to be your validation field. What you might want to do is just put a comma and say, so it could be, if it's to me, it's going to say, Lucy, I'm back. So I would just put, I'm back, exclamation mark, or something like that.
I'm back excited to share my new news or something. Or
I'm
just
back, here's the news. Yeah, something like that.
say what you said again.
I'm back. Here's what's new. It's just a suggestion. And that's nice and short as well. So that will show up in their previews. Here's what's new. And then what's the emoji option? Because, I've coming from a corporate background, you wouldn't dream of putting an emoji in there, but this is definitely something that I'm going to be doing. So it's your standard. Okay, cool. I'm back. Here's what's new. So it could be, I don't know, a announcement thing or a smiley face. Yeah.
Actually, announcement's really good.
Don't know where it lives.
Where is it?
Been trying to get my brother-in-law to use emojis for about 5 years, and he still won't do it.
Suppose I could do that.
Yeah.
But where's the little loud header? It's got to be with sport.
Mm.
No, it's not.
You've got the little celebration confetti cannon thing. Do you know what the official name for it is?
That one.
Or the one just
Oh,
before it?
there.
Yeah.
Why can't I? Oh, there you go. That'll do.
So who's it from? Your sender name, yes, that's great because it's got your first name and your business. I would definitely put your sender name not just as Lara, because, and you could use like a pipe symbol or something, which is just shift backslash, because then it kind of divides it. So one of the big social media people that I follow has theirs. It's really easy to identify. So they've got, it's like J pipe symbol, your social media hacker or whatever it's called. So your sender address will be previewed in their inbox. So you'll be able to see that. So yeah, Lara Wellness Coach, and I think makes sense.
And then what are you saying I should do?
I think if you've got a specific objective in when you hit people's inboxes, I think because it's a personal brand, it makes sense. You know, your brand name makes sense to me because it's wellness coaching. If it was called I don't know, just any old example, Frutella or something, I wouldn't know what that actually relates to, so I would have to do like your, you know, sweet supplier or whatever.
Sorry, bear with me a second.
I think
What's
this is
next?
anyway. Right, so sender email is how you're going to appear in their inbox. Tracking options, I would say always happy to have some tracking. You can, if you ever have analytics hooked up to your landing pages for this, the UTM tags basically means that you can see what the lead source is. So that's handy. I would say yes to that one.
Okay.
You don't have to do anything extra for that at the moment. And language, English, cool. So as per usual, we will need to have design elements for this, which we can use Canva for. Let's see if they've got, so they've got a template gallery, which is great. Drag and drop, rich text. Okay, great. HTML as well. So you could import designs from Mailchimp. If you can get access to the HTML from your Mailchimp emails, you could probably import that into this, meaning that you could recreate the same designs, but in a simpler way.
I want a fresh start.
Fantastic. So template gallery, this is entirely your creative decision. Is there a way of filtering?
Yeah.
Problem updates, celebrations, healthcare and wellness. Look at that. And the lovely thing about this is, you know, that the images that they've put in, if you feel like leaving them in as placeholders, you won't need to worry about copyright.
Ah, that's good to know. I think that's great if you're selling something. But if I'm doing an intro or like a hi, I'm back.
You can have an image of you. Or if you wanted to be clever, like that one that you've hovered over a couple of times, like juices, we
Yeah.
could take that image, pop it in Canva, take a photograph of you doing like a, hi, I'm back, put it over the top of those juice bottles, and you can be like springing out or something. Or we could just, you know, design something from scratch. I really like that because it's got green background.
Yeah.
But again, it's, you know, the creativity within email with imagery and copy and the text is super personal to a brand. So you kind of have to think, okay, what do I, firstly, what do I actually want people to click on? Do I simply want to give them the information that I'm back, or which is the preferred option, which is discover new courses or find out more about your wellness options? And for
Yeah.
now, you might want to direct them to Instagram. You might want them to, they might be so super engaged that actually you want them to join a Facebook group, or, something really niche. But I would imagine that you probably just want a landing page or Instagram page which shows them more about wellness.
Yes. The latter, and also just I guess allowing people to unsubscribe if they, which I know is an option, but so that I have the list that I end up with is the list that I can really target.
Yeah, absolutely. You
But yes,
could
I do want to put
have
on what I'm
to,
doing now.
yeah, an update of what's happening, definitely. Um, so you could have um, a whole section across the bottom saying, if you no longer, need to hear from me, then feel free to opt out, and actually have that as a sort of clear call to action. But in addition to that, having something that they can do to then further, inform themselves about what you're doing is pretty, for me, it's the only reason we have emails, really. I don't want to kind of entertain people in their inbox. I want them to take action.
Yeah.
So for me, it always reminds me of that kind of hot potato thing. It's like, okay, fine, so my email looks great, but what are they going to do? Like, put them into the shop, or put them into the Facebook group, or put them on to the next step.
And question, because it is a list, a previous list,
Mhm.
which has friends, students, clients, or just people who've attended my fitness classes.
Yeah.
It's got quite a big range of people. So that's, I suppose, where segmentation comes in. But could I have something on there which is like, are you interested in one-to-one coaching? Are you interested in getting qualified to come into the health and fitness industry? And then from there, I can segment into different lists. Because ultimately, if they qualifications, really, they should go on a separate mailing list from a separate company. But equally, I can still cross-reference a little bit or not.
So you'll be able to see who clicks on which call to action. Normally, I wouldn't suggest having lots of different areas for them to click on. But for the purposes of this, you want to like re-engage the right people in the right pots, and effectively they're going to segment themselves.
Yeah,
If you can't, I mean, ideally you would go through your data and actually segment them, you know, yourself, so that your database is, rather than relying on them to actually put themselves in a pot. But if you have, say, two different areas, leave unsubscribes for them to just to do their own opting out,
yeah,
but to direct them to courses or coaching, that to me is two very clear sort of different target groups. There might be some cross pollination, but actually, yeah, giving them a crossroads to kind of choose, then they're much more likely to click one of those two, as opposed to it just being one, and then everybody that doesn't click it, you think, oh, what are they interested in? So,
yeah.
but yeah,
Okay, cool.
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
but ultimate, and then I'm assuming they would then be moved onto the list. So I would tell them, if you've clicked onto this, you will then receive emails from Synergize Me, not from Wellness. Or would you still email them from Wellness anyway?
So you've got a couple of things that can happen after the call to action, and that's where your automation comes in. Ideally, you would give them information and something to actually book or buy or contact you about on the next click. But yes, on top of those things, you can send messages that are specific to that topic. You don't need to tell them that's what's going to happen, unless you're going to be subscribing them to that. So if the call to action is subscribe to hear more about wellness coaching, or subscribe to hear more about, courses, then that's a slightly different ask. I would send them down the 2 routes, but then have a landing page which actually goes into detail on each of those 2 things.
Okay. And then that they would then become so.
And then, yeah, so I know what you're asking. So they would be segmented based on what they've clicked. You can then look at which button they've clicked on, and then everyone that says wellness coaching will then be segmented for you, and everyone that clicks on courses will then be segmented under courses for you. And then you can look at the lists and name them properly and things in
Okay,
the
but that
background.
list would ultimately move to a new Mailerlite because it would be coming from a different company or a different business.
You can have different lists. So unless your sender name, brand name, imagery, everything else is going to be different,
It's
then you
all
can have
different.
it under one. But yeah, I think you can take them out if you want to, put them down a different route. I personally would keep them in the same database, but segment them and send them different emails using the same account. But you manage your lists as opposed to 2 separate Mailerlite
But they
accounts.
would need each list would need a different look and feel, and each list would need to come from a different email address.
So the sender address, yes. So in that instance, you would want a separate Mailerlite account. Your sender name can be changed at the time, but because it would be coming from the domain name, which is a completely different company, then yes, you would need a separate
Okay.
account.
Yeah, because I don't. Ultimately, the wellness is me. I understand that Synergize Me is me, but equally it is a company in its own right. So I don't want the two to be cross-referenced. And ultimately, if all of my tutors and stuff are also have access to the potential students coming in, then I need to have that separated.
Yes, if you were, under, Lara Inc. or something, and then had
Yeah,
all these ones, then it would be different. But they are separate entities, so
yeah. Okay.
yeah, makes sense.
Great. Good.
Good. So you choose your template. I don't expect on this call that we're actually going to go through and build it because we need all the assets and the right sizing and things like that. But I think we've got a clear objective for your I'm back message.
Yes.
We know where the templates are, which they look really good actually.
I like this one. I think this is very much me.
Yeah.
Just needs a bit of leopard print on there and then it'll be sorted.
Oh, yes, very nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to set it up for myself as well. I'm going to have a look to see which is going to make sense for the Bumblebee marketing side as well. And then I'll share some, design tips and stuff separately. Um, if you've got assets, if you've got those images that you want to share with me over WhatsApp with the leopard print background, um, then I can have a little play, see how best to put it into Mailerlite for you. But I've been really pleased with it so far. What do you think?
I think it's really easy to use. I'm curious to see how easy it's going to be when we get to the automations and the segmentations and all of that sort of stuff, because that's the bit that stumped me in the past. But in terms of drag and drop, templates already there, already, this to me seems way easier. I mean,
Yeah,
I literally haven't touched Mailchimp for 3 to 4 years because I was just like, oh, this is driving me mad.
yeah, yeah. For
It
me, I
was
want to
just
have
taking too
much
long.
more.
Yeah,
Sorry, say again.
it was just taking too long to
Yeah,
do
that's it.
anything or to get anything ready. Yeah,
Yeah, for me, I want it to be less design and more function.
yeah,
'Cause, I'm not going down the ClickFunnels route, which is sell, 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 but I do want it to have a little bit more to it.
yeah.
And I'm not an HTML website coder, so I don't want to do that. Just before we go then, so if you could just select the template,
Oh, okay.
just so we can just go through to the next section, if it will let you save a draft or something.
What's happened?
You confused it.
I did. Go back.
Right,
Oh,
so this is
oh
the
no.
builder.
Oh,
This is the
ah.
email builder. Yeah.
I've pressed too many buttons too quickly. Right. So content next.
So it takes the time because it's you know, it's a software program that then opens for you. So you can change all of the brand areas. I imagine with padding and things like that, you can increase it and decrease it. So then, and you've got social links a bit further down. If you go to,
Yeah.
so what does actions ask you to do in that top section? Actions with the drop down.
I need to move our faces. Okay.
So you can, okay, so save as template. Okay, let's not do that yet because save as template might, it's not necessarily a draft. So an email template is something different. So if you go to preview and test for me a second, let's see if there's a save a draft, preview mode, send a test email. So for now, if you go done editing, it's not going to send to anybody. What I really want to do is just have this as a draft and then have a look at the automations. All right, so you can add your recipients. Obviously, we need to have those uploaded. And then, okay, so content, tracking settings, recipients. Are there any automations further down? Schedule. Okay, so let's try schedule. I don't think this is going to have what you might call like a completion action. So when do you want to send it? Tracking configuration. Okay, so we're not sending that now. That's going to stay there for when we want to go back to it. So you could click on automation now, which is on that far left option. And then what we want to do is create an automation that, well, there's quite a few things that you could do with that email. You want to put them into a campaign if they click on one or the other email. So if you click on the automation, and you were talking about promotions and things like that, weren't you? So choose template, start from scratch. Okay, so you've got a welcome email. So these look like journeys as opposed to, okay. So if you go to the all templates, I'm imagining there's going to be some simple automations in that drop down. Nurture leads, promotions, retarget, events, e-commerce. So when it says automation, I think what that means is the journey. Retarget. So click out of that one where it says simple welcome email. That will be what you can send when people have clicked on that first one that you've done to re-engage them. So you have a look at that one. Again, it will give you something to create. Workflow steps. Okay. So this is your journey, basically. So when a subscriber joins a group, then they get the welcome email. So if you click the right-hand button.
That one?
Yeah. Okay, so it's a different template. So it's giving you the different templates. All right, so if you could just X out of this one for now. Was that making sense though, as you were looking at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going from there to there to there to there.
Yeah,
I see
it's
these ones are
missing for
different, aren't they?
me, what it's missing for me is an automation which isn't actually an email sequence. It's more of a somebody clicks on this message and they get sent into this segmentation list, for example.
You think you do that on the campaign?
Yeah, I think it might be on the campaign level. Okay. So with the little down arrow next to edit,
Where are you?
so scroll down. Yeah, because we went through it and it didn't actually say. So we went through almost as if we were going to send it in the campaign, didn't we? And it didn't look like it was going to look at
But
the
you,
campaign.
would it not be in the actual content, like have a link, they go here or they'd go here?
Yeah, so if you click on a call to action button in that campaign email,
Yeah.
it could be within the campaign. I haven't seen it none like that before, but there's no reason why it wouldn't.
Because there must be a way to segment on this thing. Let's find out.
Yes, we can use segmentation with Mailerlite. Okay, so if you scroll down to find a button, so yeah, so
That'd be worthwhile just flinging one together and then just pinging it to you and then seeing where it sends you.
if you type in there mail to, so the word mail and the word to as in TO, and then colon, one that's 2 dots, not a dot and a dash. Yeah. Okay, send me a preview. Send a test email. Send a test to me when I get the test email, which is going to be exciting in itself. That'll come through in a second.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to check my junk mail because that's an important thing. Are you in spam? No, that's good. Here we go. So test, I'm back. Here's what's new. If you're in browser, this is the perfect time to energize. So I'm going to click on it. Take me to the shop. Yes, so it worked because when I clicked on take me to the shop, where we changed it to mail to my email address, it brought up a little mail window. So that did work. So if you go to, let's see if there's a setting where we can see that that's happened off the back of the, to give us an automation to do more with my contact in your records. So if you go to,
Back?
I guess so, yeah. So I've not been looking at your screen, so I don't know which page you're on. Oh, you're in a preview. Okay, cool. Content center, edit tracking. Well, I think it might be in subscribers. So if you go in subscribers, you'll see potentially.
Nope.
No, because I'm not in there as a person. So you might need to add in
Do you think the
there.
campaign has to have a subscribe form?
Not all campaigns have to have a form, no, but I think that because you sent it to me as a preview, if you add me in this as a subscriber, what I would expect to do is, which you could do now, if you wanted to add me manually with that email address, then you can see what my interactivity is. It's a shame it hasn't given you all of your 1,000 contacts because then it'd be easier to see.
Well, it does import from Mailchimp. Should we try?
Yeah.
Connect Mailchimp account.
Could just still be verifying, so we have done that already.
Yeah, it's gone through.
Here I am in Mailerlite. I decided to make a little video on this because Mailchimp, although beautiful, as you can see, is It's just not doing it for me. So it's not that it doesn't look good, because brand look and feel is like rule number one. You kind of have to know what kind of image you're portraying before you can create anything really. And it's a kind of vehicle for carrying a message. However, if you look at all of the successful pages on websites, actually it gets to the point a lot quicker than the Mailchimp one is, and even the preview isn't working for me very well. Plus, with the mobile version, it effectively just makes the call to action button vertical. So that's just not going to be fit for purpose for me. So considering I'm actually paying for one of the packages in Mailchimp, this isn't. It's sort of inadequate, unfortunately. So I mean, I might sound sort of hypercritical, but at this point, I think, well, I know what the website needs to do. It needs to get people from being aware of my brand to to being interested in what I've got to say, and obviously getting some value from the pages, to then getting in touch or booking a call or getting on the coaching. So yeah, it's not really doing it. So what I've got here is I'm in Mailerlite. I'm in the dashboard area, and what I've had a look at is, I'll just move my little face out of the way. At the top at the moment, I've got free access to premium features, but I've only got the premium preview, premium trial for 30 days. So this includes newsletter templates, auto resend, so it sends it again if it wasn't opened, promotion pop-ups. Pop-ups are kind of, Google doesn't really like Google pop-ups anymore, so that's kind of by the by. Click maps, which is good if you're local, not so much if you're online, and live chat and email with your support team. So I mean, I can be your support team, you don't have to worry about that. So I would say newsletter templates might be useful. Auto resend, I'm sure you could put in an automation and get around it that way. So what we're going to do is just have a look and compare the landing pages, because effectively what I've done with Mailchimp is get the domain name. So it's www.bumblebee-marketing.com, because that domain name was available. So I've done that through Mailchimp. So I'd obviously have to look at switching that potentially or something, or keeping that on the Mailchimp account. But my database is easily transferable over to this. So as we went through with Lara, I think basically the comparison for me comes down to user friendliness. So what you would call in the trade UX. So user experience from getting onto the site and being able to book an appointment, buy the product, get in touch, that kind of thing. Whilst at the same time it looking like your brand. With Mailchimp, it was just all brand, and I'm not slagging off, design per se. It just has to work for what you're actually there for. So anyway, I am gonna go here, build a website. I'm sure I'll be able to use my domain name. So if I go to new site, choose a name. Okay, so we're going to call it Bumblebee Marketing homepage. Internal use. Right, okay, landing page or website. So let's just do a single landing page, because actually I see more and more brands, especially those that are leveraging e-commerce or a personal brand as well as a business, moving away from websites because the navigation at the top is just distracting. So I'm going with the landing page being bold in that way. So subscriber groups, that's all well and good. What I want to do is, okay, so this is my subscription from social group. So I'm going to be adding people to this as they come in from Instagram. So start from scratch, template gallery. Right. See, even like straight off the bat, there's things with call to action higher up. So okay, so there's quite a lot of white space. but you can probably tell that there's just choice. I don't know what that means. Showing 1 to 12 of 12 tool results. So, oh, yes. I mean, I love that. Saying I don't like design, but look, it's got a really high up. Let's preview this one because the button at the top where it says videos, I'm going to check this out and see if it will let me use the videos button, change it to get in touch, and it not be vertical down the page like Mailchimp. So that's just, I tend to sort of dip in, give it a little test, and then I'll run with it if I'm happy with it. I don't do anything without testing it first. So, right, videos. What we're going to do is find where we change the text, and we're going to say contact. Let's do caps. Contact. Might change the wording a little bit later on. Open link in new tab, yes, because we want people to be able to navigate back to the page that they were on previously once they've gone off to a contact form. Include page header, include page footer. Notify your visitors using a sticky bar. Ooh! Oh, I like that. Hey, guys, this is so much better than Mailchimp. Sorry. Include page footer, right? So page footer. Let's see. Yeah, that could be useful. Except it's got my address on it. I'll have to change it to my business address. Okay, so let's just go with this for now. Animations. Oh, don't give me any cool animations because that would be a bit distracting. Right, blocks, map, newsletter archive, accordion. Right, okay, so that's going to be. What is that? Let's have a look. Anyway, no. We're going to do what we're here to do first off. And I'm having a look to see, once it's loaded, how it compares. Ah, right. Mobile. Fingers crossed. Oh, where's my contact button gone? Where's my contact button gone? Right, so you have to click on the menu in order to get it. See, that's a bit annoying. That is really annoying because then it's just not there at all, is it? Is it? So, okay, so this is still a template. I reckon if we, there must be a button. There must be a button. Ah, here we go. Right, so let's just whack a button as high up as we can. Okay, we do care about, oh, is it drag and drop? It's drag and drop. Right, there we go. So now we're going to preview it and see if the button shows up. Again, fingers crossed. We go to the mobile preview because we know every previews. Yes, okay. So that could be our contact button. Oh, that's not built yet, so I don't know why I clicked on it. That is promising. And immediately, as beautiful as the Mailchimp one is, I can use my custom logo because that's just going to be possible to edit up here, I'm sure, in Mailerlite, and colours from my brand palette to be able to put them all in here. Plus, it's got this banner across the top, which is great because what we really want is people to click. Okay, I'm excited about this. I'm going to look at the other templates and I'll let you know. But if you want help with your website, landing page, whatever, you can see how easy it is. I haven't paid a penny for this. And I need to look at exactly what's going to, well, we've looked at exactly what's going to go. I don't think this is a pop-up. I mean, it's a cookie bar, so I reckon it should be there automatically. But yeah, I'm excited. So I'm going to try out a couple of different things, make sure it's on brand, and then I'm going to look at how I would use Mailerlite to then engage people, like we did with Lara, with those groups, and start messaging people. Yeah. Bye bye, Mailchimp.